Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from Makeshift Studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. Follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. I am on Cash App and Venmo at The Joey Harris. And of course, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. For bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show, the Green Room, the Book Club Baristas, and so much more. Just $5 a month for hours of extra content. This month on the Book Club Baristas, Nan and I go over the Maltese Falcon. So make sure that you tune in for that and so much more. Just $5 a month. And if you use the promo code Joey at checkout, you get 20% off your first month. So that's only $4. You can't beat a deal like that. As today, we look at Unforgiven 2001 from the WWF. Unforgiven 2001 was shown on pay-per-view on September the 23rd, 2001 from the Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There were 13,855 in attendance and the show did 350,000 buys. We start out with our intro. Jennifer Holliday sings America the Beautiful. It's very moving in the wake of the September 11th attacks. A USA chant goes out. We get our Unforgiven intro. Jim Ross and Paul Heyman welcome us to Unforgiven. We start out with a 4-team elimination match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. The Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, versus the Hurricane and Lance Storm, versus the Big Show and Spike Dudley, versus the Dudley Boys, Devon and Bubba Ray. The Dudley Boys are the champions. Matt and Devon start. Hurricane tagged in against Matt. Too fast and furious to write everything down as I take notes. Lots of near falls and quick moves. Everyone is in at one point. Big Show throws Spike on everyone on the outside. Big Show pins Lance Storm. Matt pins Spike after a twist of fate. Bubba beating down Jeff as a We Want Tables chant goes out. Devon hits the what's up on Jeff. He gets a sleeper on, but Jeff's arm doesn't fall 3 times. Bubba runs Jeff into some ring steps. Devon gets a 2 count on Jeff. Jeff with a corkscrew to Bubba. Matt and Devon tagged in. Dudley's roll out to regroup and Matt moonsaults on them from the top rope to the floor. Matt runs into a 3D. A swanton from Jeff breaks up the count. Bubba with a Bubba bomb to Matt and Devon gets the pin to win the match. RVD runs into Stephanie McMahon in the back and she wishes him good luck against Chris Jericho and offers her services. He declines but thanks her. Michael Cole talks to Kurt Angle's family on the front row. They are solidly behind Kurt. Flashback to what led to the next match. Raven with Terry versus Perry Saturn. Saturn attacks Raven as soon as he gets into the ring. It goes outside and they fight on the ramp. Terry grabs Saturn, allowing Raven to take down Saturn. He runs Saturn into the ring steps. Raven with a corner clothesline and a bulldog for a 2 count. Raven with a Cobra clutch on Saturn. Saturn gets out only to get knocked out of the ring by a knee lift from Raven. Saturn tries for a sunset flip, but Raven drops down for a 2 count. Saturn with a super kick, back and forth. Saturn with a variety of suplexes. They trade blows. Raven with a clothesline from the second rope and a sunset flip for a series of 2 counts. Saturn with a catapult and a twisting fisherman's suplex to get the pin. Lillian Garcia talks to Christian about his upcoming title match with Edge. He says he has a chance to fulfill his dreams tonight, and this is his night. Flashback to what led to the next match, WWF Intercontinental Championship match. Edge versus Christian. The crowd is really into Edge when he comes out. Christian attacks Edge as soon as he gets in the ring. They trade blows and Christian rolls out to regroup. They fight up the ramp and Christian ran into the staging area. Edge brings Christian back to the ring and runs Christian into the turnbuckle repeatedly. Christian runs Edge into a ring post and then into the barricade. Christian runs Edge into the ring steps. They get back in the ring and trade blows. Christian slams Edge down by his hair. Christian hits a power slam for a 2 count. Christian chops Edge in the corner. They then trade chops. Both men are down and a double count is going. Both up and Edge pushes off of a superplex attempt and gets a German suplex for a 2 count. Edge has a cut on his eye. Christian with a series of covers for 2 counts. Edge with some right hands to Christian. Double crossbody attempt. Both wrestlers back down and another double count is going. Christian with corner mounted punches. They both get close counts. Edge thrown to the outside. He goes under the ring and comes out on the other side and hits a crossbody for a 2 count. Christian hits a spear for a 2 count. Christian gets 2 chairs and sets them up, but he slips on one when Edge moves. Edge sets the chairs up, but the referee takes one away. As he does, Christian low blows Edge with the other. Christian covers Edge and he gets the pin to become the new Intercontinental Champion. JR and Paul Lee talk about what just happened. Flashback to what led to the next match. WCW World Tag Team Championship match. The Brothers of Destruction, Kane and The Undertaker versus Chronic. Brian Clark and Brian Adams with Steven Richards. Coach talks to Undertaker and Kane. Undertaker says Steven Richards brings in Chronic. He says we will see what happens when they are face to face. Undertaker and Kane get a tremendous ovation when they come out. Chronic rolls out to attack The Undertaker and Kane. They brawl at ringside. Undertaker attacks Adams in the ring and gets a 2 count. Adams with a back elbow. Undertaker with a drop toe hold. Kane tagged in. Kane with a corner whip and clothesline. Kane gets a 2 count. Adams hits a backbreaker on Kane. Clark tagged in. He chops Kane in a corner. Clark with a running kick for a 2 count. Undertaker comes in and takes over. He does old school. He gets the cross arm breaker on, but Adams breaks it up. Clark stomps the Undertaker in the corner. Adams tagged in. Adams batters Undertaker. He hits a dropkick for a 2 count. Undertaker comes back with some steep shots. Adams clotheslines Undertaker to the outside where he lands on his feet. All 4 brawling at ringside. Chronic gets Undertaker back in the ring and double team him. Adam gets a 2 count. Adams with a rear chin lock. Undertaker fights back to his feet. Adam slams Undertaker and Clark tagged in. Undertaker gets the DDT and Kane is tagged in. He cleans house on Chronic. He hits Clark with a sidewalk slam. Kane with a double clothesline. Undertaker tagged in and all 4 men in. Big boot to Clark. Chronic double teamed. Kane with a flying clothesline to Adams and Undertaker choke slams Clark to get the pin. Richards tries to attack Undertaker with a chair but gets caught. Kane choke slams Richards. The Brothers of Destruction raise the belts after the match. Booker T and Shane are shown in the back getting hyped up. Taz says they can bring the WCW title back to the Alliance. Stephanie is then shown in the back looking for RVD. She approaches a door and talks to the door, not knowing that Chris Jericho is behind her. He puts her down before leaving. WWF Hardcore Championship match, Rob Van Dam versus Chris Jericho. RVD out first and he gets a good ovation from the crowd. Jericho is also extremely over when he comes out, no pun intended. They lock up and vie for position. They trade moves and counters. Even pace match. Jericho with a side headlock. RVD bridges out of a pin attempt. He taunts Jericho, who responds by slapping RVD. Jericho with an enziguri for a 2 count. RVD with a springboard thrust kick. Jericho misses a crossbody attempt from the top rope on the apron when RVD ducks. RVD hits a crossbody for a 2 count. RVD drops Jericho on the barricade, but misses a spin kick when Jericho moves. Jericho brings out a ladder and throws it at RVD. RVD with a shoulder block to Jericho until Jericho moves and RVD hits the ring post. Jericho suplexes RVD on the ladder and gets a 2 count. RVD then suplexes Jericho on the ladder. A double count is going. RVD with a rolling thunder splash for a 2 count. Jericho avoids a split leg moonsault and hits a bulldog. Back and forth. RVD misses the frog splash and Jericho gets a 2 count. Jericho's eyes busted open. RVD sets the ladder in a corner and grabs a chair. He puts Jericho on the chair and climbs the ladder. Jericho recovers and throws the chair at RVD, stunning him. Jericho then recovers and climbs the ladder. He does a modified tarantula on the ladder and then Jericho pushes RVD to the outside. Jericho jumps, but RVD moves and Jericho hits the barricade. RVD kicks Jericho. RVD with a suicide dive, but Jericho hits RVD with a chair and gets a 2 count. Jericho throws RVD in, RVD with a spin kick. Jericho gets an armbar on. RVD goes outside and Jericho throws RVD into the ring steps. Back in the ring, Jericho beats RVD with a chair. Stephanie comes out and gets on the apron. Jericho goes to hit her, but she jumps down off the apron and RVD hits Jericho with a Van Daminator with the chair. RVD hits the 5-star frog splash to get the pin. Booker T shown in the back. Shane tells him to stay focused so they can bring the WCW title back to the Alliance. Flashback to what led to the next match, handicap match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, The Rock versus Booker T and Shane McMahon. Shane out first. Booker out next to a decent reaction from the crowd. The Rock gets a huge pop when he comes out. The bell rings and Booker and Rock are face to face, back and forth, Rock with a neck breaker, but Shane breaks up the count. Shane tagged in. Rock takes off after Shane and takes Shane down. Shane comes back and takes the Rock down, and Booker tagged in. He gets Rock down and he and Shane quick tag to keep Rock off base. Rock fights back. He knocks Shane down and gets the sharpshooter on. Booker comes in and breaks it up. They get Rock down and Shane kicks Rock on the outside. Back in, Booker beats on Rock. He gets a 1 count. Rock throws Booker out. Booker grabs a chair and swings at Rock, who ducks and hits Booker. They trade shots and Rock catapulted into a corner post. Booker throws Rock in. Booker with a knee drop and hits the spinneroonie. Rock tries a roll-up for a 2 count. Booker starts to take the Spanish announce table apart. He puts Rock on the Spanish announce table. Rock fights back against both opponents. Back in, Booker chops Rock. Rock with a Samoan drop to Booker. Shane grabs the WCW title. He goes to hit Rock with the title but hits Booker instead. He then hits Rock with the title. JR calls for a DQ. Booker covers Rock for a 2 count. Shane misses a flying elbow drop when Rock moves. Booker tagged in. Rock is trying to fight both men. He DDTs Booker for a 2 count. Shane goes for the people's elbow, but Rock catches him with a rock bottom. He hits a spine buster on Booker and goes for the people's elbow, but Test comes in with a clothesline and a big boot. Bradshaw comes out with a pipe and chases Test away. Referee Nick Patrick comes out and puts Rock back in the ring. Referee Mike Chioda comes out and berates Patrick. Shane goes to pin Rock, but Chioda pulls Shane out of the ring. More arguing. Booker covers Rock. Patrick shoves Chioda down and counts, but Rock kicks out at 2. Chioda takes out Patrick. Booker takes out Chioda. Rock fights out of a bookend attempt and hits the Rock bottom. Earl Hebner comes down and counts the pin. The Rock celebrates and holds the championship high. William Regal talks to Tajiri. Tori Wilson comes in and begs to be in Tajiri's corners. Stacy Keibler is then shown at WWF New York. WCW US Championship match. Tajiri with Tori Wilson versus Rhino. They start fighting right away. Some stiff moves as it spills to the outside. Back in, Tajiri hits some kicks. Rhino with a charge to Tajiri in the corner for a 2 count. Tajiri with a roll up for a 2 count. The action is hot and heavy in this one. Rhino with a belly to belly for a 2 count. Back and forth. Tajiri with a back elbow. Rhino with a spine buster for a 2 count. Wilson gets up on the apron. Rhino goes after her and chases her into the ring. She twists her ankle. Rhino goes to gore her, only to get hit with a kick from Tajiri for a 2 count. Tajiri goes back to the kick. Tajiri gets the tarantula on, but can't keep it on. Rhino hits the gore to win and become the new WCW US Champion. Flashback to what led up to the main event, WWF Championship match, Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle. Angle gets a tremendous ovation as he comes out in his hometown 12 days after 9/11. Austin comes out and Angle meets him on the ramp. He stomps Austin down outside. He throws Austin in. They trade blows. Angle hits a Thesz press. Austin is hesitant to hit the stunner. Angle puts Austin on a turnbuckle and chops him to the outside. Angle runs Austin into the Spanish announce table. Back in, Angle continues the assault on Austin. Angle hits a superplex. He continues the assault on Austin. Austin comes back with a sleeper. Angle counters with a jawbreaker. He clotheslines Austin to the outside. Austin grabs the title and leaves. Angle chases Austin and knocks Austin down on the ramp. He throws Austin off the ramp. Angle follows and beats Austin down. Austin is bleeding from the nose. They make their way to ringside and Austin ran into a ring post. Angle takes up a ringside mat. Austin with a running knee into Angle's back. Austin runs Angle into the announce table. Angle backdrops Austin out of a piledriver attempt. Angle chops Austin. Then Austin backdrops out of a piledriver attempt by Angle. Back and forth. Austin drops Angle on the Spanish announce table. He then does it again. They trade blows. Angle thrown on the Spanish announce table again, and Austin takes out a cameraman. They go at it hard in the ring. Angle holding his neck. Austin runs Angle into a ring post. He beats Angle down in the corner and stands on Angle's neck. Austin taunts Angle's family. Angle comes back with shots. Austin gets a 2 count. A Let's Go Angle chant goes out. Austin gets a reverse chin lock on. Angle battles out and gets a 2 count. They trade counts. They go at it in the corner. Angle gets a series of German suplexes, both men down after the third one. Angle goes up top, but gets caught. Austin with a superplex, but Angle shifts his weight and gets a 2 count. Austin low blows Angle, and referee Earl Hebner admonishes Austin. Austin goes after Angle on the outside. He throws Angle in. He beats Angle down and tosses Hebner to the side. Angle low blows Austin. Angle with a DDT to Austin, and Austin falls out of the ring. He gets back in, and Angle gets a stunner on Austin for a 2 count. Angle pulls down the straps. Austin gets an Angle slam for a close 2 count. Austin beats on Angle's back. Austin goes for a pile driver and hits it. Austin gets a 2 count. A USA chant goes out. Austin goes for the stunner, but Angle gets the ankle lock on, and Austin taps. Angle is the new WWF champion, and the crowd goes wild. His family comes in the ring, and his brothers lift him up. Other wrestlers come out and congratulate Angle as they sign off from Pittsburgh. Final thoughts. The main event makes this one to check out. You can follow me on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.